and good morning to everybody watching over the live stream for men's European qualifier here in Halifax. My name is Roller Polar Bear, and I would like to welcome you all into the bosom of the live stream action. Joining me is the world famous and world talented Snoogans of Nottingham, formerly Milton Keynes. Hello, Snoogans.
All right, Bear.
Now what you're seeing before us is a referee on his own, skating around the track, lonely. But soon the track will be rife with action of the Tyne and Fear roller derby, facing up against the Super Smash Brawlers of Nottingham. Snoogans, are you excited?
I really am. So obviously in the run-up to tournaments, just like teams, we, us the announcers, we have our fluctuations of emotions and feelings and everything. And while I was looking forward to the tournament earlier in the week, I was kind of need to get pumped, need to kind of get something just there. And I was able to go along to the Brollers training session on Thursday. And within sort of 15, 20 minutes, I was like, I am pumped.
Absolutely. We're very excited for all the teams and all the games that are happening. We've already had one game played, Lincolnshire running out winners against the Barrow Infernos. But right now, and just happening in a matter of 90 seconds, we have Tyne and Fear coming up against Smash Brawlers. I'll run through the roster for Tyne and Fear.
Love it.
At 0 is Barnabash. At 1, Dark Matter. 137 is Fubar. 181 is Tank. 26, Chemic Owl. 44, Chemic Owl. 50, Bull. 6, Yorgi Bear. 64, 60 Quadbit. 762, Jam Munition. 8 is Sparky. 82 is Dog. 83 is Nicholas Rage. 831 is Mustache. And 99 yet again is Sparky.
And for the Brawlers skating in the blue today, we have 101 is Gruff. 1015 is Coco. 107 is Shawshank Redemption. 1337 is Painful Algorithm. 1962 is Beta Parker. Number 2 is Dan Blake. 3333 is Buzz Killington. 399 is Dr. Obloknik. 43 is Fenin. 444 is War Slammer. Number 5 is Robert Quadriguez. 53 is Yannicky. 558 is Circle Jerk. 614 is Special K. And 64 is Gentle.
Okay, we're just getting some clarifications quickly on the rosters. Apparently 44 is Kamikenzi. And 99 is an ex-Middlesbrough. Oh, both of them are from Middlesbrough. Both of them are called Sparky from ex-Middlesbrough.
I believe it's Sparky Mark and Sparky J.
So you say. Anyway, we're about to get
We're in.
So we got Dark Matter coming up against Gruff.
Both jammers getting straight into the pack. Dark Matter through on the outside to pick up our first lead jammer of this game.
Gruff, meanwhile, getting right into the action. Barnabash going for a recycle back to the pivot line. Dark Matter now looking for points.
Dark Matter going for the outside line once again. Big hit from Circle Jerk, who does head to the penalty box for his troubles. However, Gruff is now out of the pack. Both jammers looking for the points.
Yes, absolutely. Dark Matter just running the jam ever so long, and now we've got the pack speeding up. This is the famous 27-5 we're seeing right now on track, but it ends very quickly. Only 2 laps picked up. So, points on the board, Snoogans.
First up to Tyne and Fear, 6 plays 0.
Just getting a quick look at Singletron, who isn't skating in this game. Is here to play this weekend, but isn't skating in this game. Apparently, he hurt his ankle doing some parkour earlier at the Sainsbury's car park.
Was it part of Bear's Excelsior aerobic regime?
That got cancelled when the police arrived.
Oh, I
Can
do
we move on
apologise.
from that,
I do
please?
apologise. So we've got a new jam in action. We do have 107 Shawshank Redemption jamming for the Super Smash Brawlers.
And we've got Sparky, ex-T-Side Skating Vader, coming out and picking up lead. I have seen a lot of Sparky, actually.
It was very nice of T-Side to wish him a happy birthday yesterday as well. Wonderful post.
It really was. Anyway, Shawshank Redemption, a skater that isn't known to me.
So Shawshank, I believe this is still his first season.
Oh, okay.
Still a relatively new skater. Is he's one of those guys who's kind of started off as, not bad, and then just kind of exploded in terms of sort of skills, and everything kind of slotted into place for him. We have had our first star pass of the game, Bear. Peter Parker now donning the star for the Brollers.
Yeah, meanwhile, Sparky is out and about picking up the 5 points. Tyne coming out hot and heavy in this first couple of jams. Sparky picking up the air and picking up another 5 points. The first apex jump of this game. Take a bite of your sandwich if you're watching at home. And if you've got a sandwich.
Yeah, absolutely.
You might not have a sandwich.
Yeah.
Then I apologise. Please send all complaints to www.hollysheet at www.uk.org.
So Sparky has been reset, taken back by Buzz Killington. He has managed to complete that scoring pass. Peter Parker still looking for the initial, being taken off again and again.
Yeah, Yogi Bear now with Recycled Dog now being involved. Turn 1 not looking so great for Peter Parker at this point, but Sparky now being taken off as well and recycled. I believe is that Knots being recycled?
Gentle, you're going back a bit.
Oh.
That's vintage Brollers you're talking about there.
Well, I am old. Very old. Too old to be here.
Well, that's just not true.
Time catches up. Anyway, so.
Big 25-point jam there for Tyne and Fear. Biggest jam so far of the weekend is that 34-point jam from the previous game for Sully for Lincolnshire.
So just looking at a quick replay now of Sparky's failed apex jump. He will now be withdrawn from the arena.
So we've got 2 fresh jammers. We've got Dr. Obloknik for the Brollers, and out of the pack.
It's Moo.
It is Moo.
Oh, it's Mackenzie.
Oh.
I apologise. Mackenzie. So Mackenzie now with the lead, just sives his way past Danimal, or Blake as he's now called. These new names.
I mean, to be fair, Gentle and Blake have been so called for at least a season.
I don't know where I've been.
Probably 2 seasons.
Oh, well, I apologise. I don't announce much anymore. Good reason, really. But here we are.
Here we are indeed. Mackenzie riding the wave from Barnabash. Literally, he was kind of hooked onto the back of him, fishtailing his way through the pack.
But now just being held. War Slammer, meanwhile, is out of the penalty box and trying to create some offense. Not forthcoming at this time.
However, not forthcoming with the offense, but with the defense, getting right into the way and shutting down Mackenzie.
Yeah, going for the cut track, but just didn't work on this time. But well worth a go. Meanwhile, though, the Brawlers jammer, just with one blocker left to deal with, does break out. And Dr. Obloknik now goes looking for points, but Mackenzie shuts that mother down. Scores on the door, Snoogans.
60-0, 29-point jam. Just quashing that previous highest jam of this game. Still not the highest jam of the weekend.
No, absolutely not. But it's a funny thing about Mackenzie. About 2 years ago, he actually said he was going to stop skating after Men's European Cup in Newcastle in 2016. They convinced him to stay on, but he was actually just going to give it all up.
I mean, it's a good job they didn't.
Well, I believe they've been holding his family hostage for some time now. So, sponsors. Apparently, Roller Derby City. Thank you to the amazing folks at Roller Derby City for providing the gorgeous officials and volunteers with t-shirts. www.rollerderbycity.com. Check them out. Why don't you?
Absolutely.
But not right now, because we're watching a game.
Yeah, unless you've got some dual screen action going on.
You fancy folks back at home.
Or maybe on your selected handheld device while you're watching this on your telly box.
Or a PC.
Yeah, all that.
Or a laptop.
I caught one of those in the car park this morning on Pokemon Go.
You kids.
If you are thinking of... it's my wife on the screen there. No, I spoke too slowly. Sven is not my wife. I was, of course, referring to Robert Quadriguez.
Yes, ex-CTB, now with the SSB, and bringing his block into us all.
And that is going to be our first lead jammer being awarded to the Super Smash Brollers. It is Gruff. It's taken off and recycled. Beautiful transitional footwork to get through the pack from Fubar.
Yeah, Fubar not in control of this jam, but Gruff now being slowed down by Fubar, and the pack yet again picking up that speed. Super Smash Bros. Just trying to hold Dog, but Dog coming around on the outside. Now Fubar picking up the pace into the scoring zone. Meanwhile, Gruff now coming in to his own scoring path.
Gruff unfortunately shut down briefly there by teammate Special K.
It happens. There's a lot of bodies on track, and Gruff now look as though he's on the way to the penalty box on a forearms.
So we are now in Power Jam territory for Tyne and Fear.
Yeah, really picking up a big point differential very early into this first period. The last thing Super Smash Bros. Wanted was to let up a Power Jam, but again, these things do happen.
Looks like Tyne and Fear trying to goat Special K, over K picking up a penalty, taking a seat in the box as well.
Yeah, this is a fluid jam of perfection right now for Tyne and Fear. Picking up the Power Jam for the SSB blockers, and now just with 3 blockers on track, and Dog now going in for the offense and breaks apart the wall. Just takes Robert Rodriguez away from Coco, and circle, is it? Circle?
No, that will circle jerk and Quadriguez. Gruff out of the penalty box and through the pack quite swiftly.
And the jam curtails to an end. But points have been picked up by the Super Smash Bros. 28-point jam though from Fubar. 4 points picked up by Gruff and the Super Smash Brawlers. So Super Smash Bros. Do have points on the board, which is very important. This is a round-robin tournament, so points can essentially mean prizes at the end of this weekend.
Absolutely.
And the prize is a trip to America.
That you are required to pay for. It's not an all-expenses paid trip.
No, you don't know. It's not like, going to the Isle of Fernando's on Take Me Out or anything. You have to pay for this.
So we do have an official review in action as called by Tyne and Fear. And some stats for you folks. They're stats. They're absolutely stats. We've got 3-1 in terms of lead jammer statuses in favour of Tyne and Fear. We've had 1 star pass from Nottingham and 1 power jam in favour of Tyne and Fear.
Yes, good work with the stats there, Snoogans, and good work with the stat thingies, Holly. Well done to everybody, and good work to Derby Duck. That's bringing you all the action from Men's Excelsior Quest 2018. Bringing all the joy here at Men's European Qualifier in Halifax. Not just a place of dreams, but a place of super dreams.
Super dreams?
Super dreams.
Is that what I had last night? Is that why I couldn't sleep?
Yes.
Brilliant. Good to know.
So don't forget, you can actually at home, if you're watching on the stream, you can actually purchase a raffle ticket as well this weekend by going on it to the site and purchasing it online at nwomegraffle.fikket.com. It's a good website that you can buy a raffle ticket from. How much are the raffle tickets?
£2
2 pence.
We will have the prizes scrolling across your screen around about half time so that you can have a look and see what is up for grabs. However, right now we are back into the action. 107 Sean Shank Redemption and 831 Mustache.
Yeah, Mustache jamming for the first time today in them brilliant leggings.
I would assume that he has multiple leggings for the weekend.
One would hope so, because it is quite hot and stifling in here.
It is.
Yes, with the waft of the hand. Tells you all you need to know. Mustache comes through for 5 points.
Bit of an explosion on the pack there. Blockers sent all over the place, but that's going to be Peter Parker heading to the box. So one less blocker on track for the Brollers.
Well, the Brollers got the jammer out though, but wasn't able to pick up any points. And Tyne and Fear yet again in control, in charge. 97 plays over 4, 91 point differential with 21 minutes left to play.
Let's just take another look at that pass. This is that big, beautiful skip there, just managing to slip past the shoulder of Dr. Oboloknik.
Looks like we're back into the action. Dark Matter coming up against Dr. Oboloknik into this next jam. Fennin with the last ditch hit, doesn't pay off. Dark Matter comes through, picks up lead. Looking to break through the triple digits in this jam.
Dr. Oboloknik favouring that toe stop action along the inside line, getting pushed to the outside by Nicholas Rage and having to reset, so he's got to go through those blockers all over again.
Dark Matter just being held up now by the blue blockers, but is through on the outside.
Beautiful bit of offense from Peter Parker coming out of the penalty box there, really getting right into the sort of the rib, kidney area of those Tyne and Fear blockers.
Yeah, you're going to need to do that because you've got some big blockers of Tyne and Fear. You need a lot of physicality to get them moving, to get them out of the way. Dark Matter, meanwhile, comes through for another pass, calls off the jam as instructed by Moo, and scores on the doors. 1-1-1, that plays 4. So in the last few jams, we've got 14 points picked up, 9 points picked up, 28 points picked up by Tyne and Fear. The last 3 jams have only picked up 4 points for the Super Smash Brollers though. So we're hoping to see maybe a change in dynamic into this next jam, Snoogans.
Absolutely. Possibly not right now. Fubar slipping along the inside line to pick up lead jammer. Meanwhile, Chemical throwing Barnabash, my mistake, throwing a huge hit to Gruff as he favours the outside line for turn 1.
Yeah, Gruff, a very big blocker, same as Tank. Again, Tyne and Fear having big physicality, moving that jammer around of their own accord. You know, being able to take Gruff off, and Gruff has got a great low center of gravity.
It really does.
You know, and it's very hard to shift somebody like Gruff like that, but they are doing an exceptional job. Peter Parker, yet again, going in for offense, just doesn't pay off.
Some really nice defensive work there from the Brollers wall coming into turn 3. Rodriguez picking up a penalty for his troubles, but they did manage to really slow down the momentum of Fubar.
Great takeoff by Circle Jack, just momentarily with Fubar back into the action. Taking down a Smash Brawler to the floor. And this is a very sudden awakening for Smash Brawlers into their first game into a men's European qualifier. Not the first time for Tyne and Fear, though. There was at Toulouse last year.
Just that contact right at the end of that jam there. Special K hitting the floor, flakes everywhere.
What's your favourite cereal? I put you on the spot. I apologise.
You really have.
I apologise.
Wow.
I did.
Yeah, Cocoa Pops. Yeah.
Too late. Mustache coming up now, picking up lead. Why don't you tell us your favourite cereal by messaging us today at message things.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt you entirely. Mustache with some incredible footwork after taking a glancing blow from Peter Parker on the outside. Got spun right around. Pirouette. I'm pretty sure the Russian judges gave him an 8.5 for it.
Mustache he must be new. He must be new to Tyne and Fear, because I don't think I've ever seen him before.
So about a month ago, Tyne and Fear came down en masse to Nottingham. It was a double-header game. Tyne and Fear's Inglorious Beastars played the Brollers before Tyne and Fear's A-Team played Southern Discomfort Knights. And Mustache was rostered for both games, so I'm assuming he's relatively new, still a crossover skater, but his speed and agility is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, Tyne Field really have picked up some new skaters. One of them right now being Sparky, who isn't a new skater, but is a new skater for Tyne Field. Picking up lead, picking up points at this time. Of course, Sparky was a Team England blocker in Barcelona at the men's roller derby World Cup.
Dr. Obloknik sliding around the outside hips of those blockers.
So Jam Cup rolls to an end. Another 9 points picked up by Tyne and Fair.
So this next jam brought to you by the MRDA, the Men's Roller Derby Association. The Men's European Qualifiers 2018 is hosted in conjunction with the Men's Roller Derby Association, and we would like to thank them for their support this weekend.
Thank you. So we're back into the action. Fubar coming up against Gruff. Gruff getting that Tyne and Field wall working, but Fubar sees the gaps open on the inside and picks up your lead. Coco just trying to break apart that Tyne and Field wall for Gruff. Gruff still being held now by Dog.
Fubar decimating that Brollers wall. Pick up that 5-point pass. Coco going in once again with the offense.
Forehand currently being dished out, looks like to Nicholas Rage. So Gruff is out of the pack and hunting down points. Fubar sees, Fubar shuts it down. I know we're seeing a lot of new skaters here this weekend, but one of the mainstays for Tyne and Fair for me has been Yorgi Bear. Oh, and look at that. Oh, it was there, but it's gone now.
We had the time of 1:4.48 and the score was 1:48.
It was a great day for us all. But just going back, just briefly, Yorgi Bear has been in Tyne and Fair for a long time.
Yes.
And I don't think he gets mentioned enough because what he brings to the team is stability blocking and a very calm essence on track.
Absolutely. He's one of those quiet, confident, gets the job done.
Yes. And getting the job done right now is Mustache.
Meanwhile, Shawshank Redemption being recycled past that Slick Bearing sponsored jammer line. Not just quick, but slick.
Absolutely.
Mustache
sorry.
taking a shoulder from Buzz Killington, but managing to stay upright and in bounds to complete a scoring pass.
And jam rolling to an end as Mustache picking up 9 points. 157 playing over 6. 151 the point differential. Tyne and Field got a good stranglehold on this game thus far.
And we've got 13.5 minutes left of this first half.
Cupidson, I think Cupidson maybe confused. Just coming in, he doesn't jam time anymore. Oh, he's calling it a timeout. Sneaky. No. Oh, he's got a nice shirt on as well today. Nice Care Bear shirt doing a jam. So, big thanks to the medics that are here this weekend, keeping everybody safe on track, or even if you're not on track. And also, we've just a big thanks to Roller Derby City again for providing some great tops. Well, we've all got them. Some of us aren't wearing them today because we've got our own clothes, but we might wear them at some point. But a big thanks to everyone who has sponsored this brilliant event. And don't forget, and if you've enjoyed the live stream, then go over to Derby Duck and just give them a nice review on the old Facebook.
Absolutely.
Derby Duck helps bring amazing events all the way through roller derby to the Women's World Cup in Manchester, out to Barcelona, and here right now in glorious Halifax. You can't see how glorious it is because you're looking at a hall, but let me tell you, it's got 2 churches and 5 Nando's.
And about 70,000 hills.
Yeah, there's a few hills. Well, one big hill and all the dip is.
Halifax is just hills.
That's what it says when you're driving, just hills. So,
team timeout done and dusted, and we're going to get straight back into the action. Dr. Obloknik running down the outside line to pick up lead jammer.
First lead for Super Smash Brawlers. The second lead, I apologise.
First lead in this quarter of the game.
Yeah.
That's what you were going to say, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
A scoreless jam for the Brollers. Dr. Obloknik not picking up the points before calling the jam. Have a 3 on the board for Tyne and Fear.
No, but nothing wrong with running that jam. Just seeing a quick replay now. Dr. Obloknik being able to get out. Great speed as well. You could see the sadness of Nicholas' rage. just streaming his face. What happened? Looked a bit like Nicholas Cage in Face Off. So, Fubar now coming out and picking up the lead for Tyne and Fear. Meanwhile, Gruff gets taken out by Barnabash. Parkour. Fubar just hitting the deck momentarily, but right back on. Maybe it was a tactic just to destabilize the
It's very possible. I mean, he hit the deck around the same time Circle Jerk did, about 10 feet away.
Snipers in the crowd, maybe.
Yeah. That old roller derby sniper.
Meanwhile, Gruff just being taken off yet again by Barnabash. And looks like we got Fubar on the way to the penalty box on a high block penalty.
So this is going to be the first power jam in favour of the Brollers. And knowing him as well as I do, I can tell you Gruff loves a power jam.
Does he, though?
He genuinely does.
Well, he's getting the offense now for the Brollers, but Tyne and Fear are reacting to it, picking up that speed every single turn. Coco going in, just trying to break it apart. Gruff hitting the deck. Springing right back up, though. Oh, and just staying in, picking up 5 points. Great work from Gruff. Brilliant tenacity.
What I love about Gruff, he is not the, quote, typical shape of a jammer, and a lot of people don't expect him to be anywhere near as nimble as he is.
No, it very much surprised me the times I've watched Gruff. Very impressed with the low center of gravity, the stamina as well, because it is tough out there.
Yeah.
And to have a physical build, you have to, you have to endure a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, Gruff has a background in street hockey, so that's. It was basically the skate skills were there from the off. It was just a case of getting the derby knowledge in for him, and that came in very quickly.
Gruff used to be a street hockey. Used to do street hockey. I used to do street eating.
I still do.
Don't mean to brag. Well, I was a professional.
8-point jam for the Brollers, their biggest jam they've had so far this game. 19 on the board for Tyne and Fear.
Yeah, really. As much as we're seeing the point differential, them jams can really just wake a team up a little bit. It is tough out there, but if you keep enduring, you keep pushing, you can make these little inroads and keep making them inches, because it can mean a lot at the end of the day.
Absolutely. I mean, we've already mentioned round-robin tournament, points differentials. It will count. Obviously, this will go towards some rankings and stuff as well, so it's all relevant.
Oh, absolutely. Relevant right now is Mustache out on track, picking up the lead. Seamless link, as I did just then, thank you. And also, we've got Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank Redemption out on track. Nice, glorious beard making its way through the Tyne and Fear wall, just being held up momentarily. Now coming up against Nicholas Rage.
I tell you what, the reformation and the waterfalling of the Tyne and Fear blockers is sublime. No other way to describe it.
It's very much on point because it is a big competition this weekend. The top two, there's no guarantees for the top two.
Nope.
So Tyne and Fear, what happened to them last year in Toulouse, where they didn't make the top two. They'll be out this time, desperately trying to get there, but they have got big teams in front of them. But right now, Mustache making big inroads for Tyne and Fear.
So we have had a star pass. Peter Parker now donning the start for the Brollers. Yogi Bear being headed to the penalty box for a clockwise block. Peter Parker doing a little bit of the sort of shoulder shimmy to try and fake out the opposition.
Peter Parker just trying to roll his skates just past Dog. Does so, but just gets held. And Peter Parker does come through.
Mustache, however, calling the jam.
and they were both born in 1962. That's incredible. I mean, what an age to be playing this great physical sport. Happy birthday to them both.
Tyne and Fear tantalisingly close to that double century, 199 to 1-4. Just under 8 minutes left of this first half. And we're going to set up the next jam with Dark Matter jamming for Tyne and Fear. And I do believe that is Dr. Obloknik, indeed, for the Super Smash Brollers for Nottingham Roller Derby.
He does pick up lead for Super Smash Brawlers. And he's now trying to break through. Dark Matter does break through. Dr. Obloknik is now out. We have 2 blockers apiece on track.
Micro pack.
Yeah, we've got War Slammer pivoting and 60 quad bit. Used to both be jammers.
Yes. Both jammers through on a scoring pass. War Slammer and Painful Algorithm holding the front of the pack. Nicholas Rage looking in to get involved. Hey folks, how you doing?
Just kind of sized it up, then went back to their respected packs. As Dr. Obloknik now pushing up hard, trying to break on through against 60 quad bit. Does so, but there is Nicholas Rage taking Dr. Obloknik down to the floor. But Nicholas Rage on the way to the penalty box.
Tron raising the roof from the outside. Dr. Obloknik pushing hard against that 2-wall of Tank and Barnabash, but they do manage to take him off on the inside of turn 3 and reset him back round to turn 2.
That was great work from War Slammer, getting that recycle all the way back as well. Great awareness as well from War Slammer. Dr. Obloknik, meanwhile, yet again being taken out and down to the floor. Dark Matter, seamless apex jump. Moves it on through, picking up the 5 points. Now Smash Brawlers get the assist. Now Blake going in for the offense. Doesn't happen this time.
And we've had ourselves a star pass. War Slammer now in possession of the star for the Brawlers.
Oh, nearly. War Slammer, though, runs into penalty trouble just at the end. Looks like a forearms penalty as they was coming through that pack. So if the call was right, and I believe it was, yes, War Slammer goes for the sit down.
Take a look at that offense again. Oh, just absolute proof that you don't need those massive, massive hits.
No, absolutely.
War Slammer just sat on Tank, and it was perfectly sufficient to get his jammer through.
He's been a player who's grown and grown over these last few years, and a joy to watch, and a joyous person as well.
Wonderful person.
Yes. Apart from that time, he kicked a donkey in Bridlington. Anyway, back to the action.
About that.
Well, someone has to. Fubar with the lead. I just not happy. Looking now for points. Smash Brawlers defense has been broken apart by Tyne and Fear.
Fubar, a jammer, not afraid to take it to the blockers. War Slammer back on track.
War Slammer gets taken down by Dog, but War Slammer bounces right back up at him. Great work.
And the crowd goes wild.
War Slammer doing some kind of Matrix bullet dodging. Really impressive stuff. So 2-4-1 playing over 2-1. 2-1 being the point spread, and we're at under 4 minutes left to play in this first period. $220 point spread. That's what I said just now. My maths is always correct. How dare you?
So we're just going into a brief official timeout. And this official timeout brought to you by MRD Manchester Roller Derby. Their sponsored charity is Manchester Mind. So, of course, if we're able to make any contributions, we would absolutely love to. Mind, fantastic charity, and charity that's close to the hearts of a huge portion of people involved in the roller derby community.
Absolutely. And if you... we were just having a quick look at a tired Gareth Southgate. and maybe not so tired Annika Rice. Now they're both here this weekend providing excellent commentary.
Yes. And for those of you who may not have understood what we're talking about, that was, of course, Brom and battered sausage.
No, it wasn't. Gareth Southgate. I stand by what I said. I'm a man of my words, Snoogans. You know that.
Man of some words. So just a recap on our stats going through. 14 lead jammers to 2 for Tyne and Fear. Still no star passes from Tyne and Fear. 3 for Nottingham, however, and 2-1 power jams in favour of Tyne and Fear as well.
And beautifully done. Just as we hit the next jam, we have Beata Parker coming up against Mustache. Oh, Mustache just gets taken off on the inside. Gentle goes for the recycle.
Gentle going for a little bit of that Tyne and Fear style reform with the takeoff on the inside, and then all of a sudden, hello, you need to pass me again at the front.
Just didn't pay off though. Barnabash, meanwhile, gets the recycle on Beata Parker.
That great control that we were talking about from Mustache, managing to stop himself in his tracks, and basically Sean Shank just kind of stacked it. Went for the hit, missed.
And that's the thing, you're trying to control a jammer who's got the speed and agility that Mustache is showing here. Today, Beata Parker jamming properly for the first time.
Yes, starting with the star. Seen a couple of star passes to them, 2 star passes to them, but they are starting with the star this time round.
Mustache got taken off track, but quick dig on the toe stop and right back into the action. And Suicide Brollers were able to react to it. But again, Mustache just not wasting any time. Just getting right back into the action and really making that wall move. But gets the offense from 60 Quad Bit, who's another player I've always admired.
Absolutely wonderful. I got to have a proper chat with him when Tyne and Fear came to Nottingham. Incredibly interesting man. Has had some serious health issues over the last couple of months, year or so, but is back fighting fit, and was absolute pleasure to speak to. So just going to have a quick recap from that last jam. Just that drop, so low.
Yeah, very hard to contain. If you're not in front of that drop, then you're just going to be watching them go by all day long. But as we can see, the official review being called by SSB.
And they are using that as a team timeout.
Yeah, maybe just, hydrate. As I'm sure a lot of you might not need reminding, but hydrate is very good for you. Keep the fluid intake up. It doesn't always have to be water. Other juices are available. Not always alcoholic.
Maybe a drop of squash.
Maybe a Vimto. If you're a Vimto fan, well, hello to you. And there's Sniper. Sniper loves a drink as well. We don't know what's in that drink. No. I can't confirm if it is gin or vodka, but I'm sure Sniper's enjoying it nevertheless.
Yeah. Our wonderful officials in the penalty box.
Not having a drink. Not heeding my advice.
No. I mean, they're preparing to release somebody from the penalty box.
They're the ones that will end up with kidney stones in the future, Snoogans. That's all I'm saying.
They'll hydrate at half-time.
Well...
So the programme for this wonderful event is now live on the Manchester Royal Derby page. Make sure you go through, click, and grab yourself a digital copy.
That's what all the cool kids do.
And we've got another lead jammer being assessed to the Super Smash Brollers. Gruff picking up lead over Sparky.
Sparky now just trying to get past Gruff and does so. But Gruff taking their time, but yet again this pack speeding up. Tyne and Fear controlling the front of it. Super Smash Brollers trying to get involved. Sparky now fighting their way through. Oh, great work from Gentle. But Sparky back into the action, dropping the shoulders, picking up the speed and through. But Gruff also in the scoring zone now.
Yeah, pack slowed right down, really almost come to a standstill. But Gruff, again, that physicality sees him through for that 4-point pass.
Sparky now just hitting that inside, fights it on through to the other side, picking up 4 points. Direction penalty being given to Yogi Bear. Yogi Bear on the way to the penalty box. Sparky, meanwhile, one blocker left to deal with. Hits the outside again with his shoulder rolls. Very, very big on the old shoulder roll. It's like an 80s disco.
Big hits from Barnabash. And this is almost certainly going to be our last jam of this half. The jam clock mere seconds behind the period clock.
Do we have time for one more jam?
Points on the board for both teams at that last jam. 11 to the Brollers, 17 to Tyne and Fear. Team timeout called by Tyne and Fear means we will get another jam in this half.
And just a quick mention to our referees and NSOs that are here this weekend. Of course, you can see them on the screen, and they never get mentioned, obviously, during the game because we're talking about the game. So during these times, it's nice to mention some really top officiating by the officials here because they really are world class.
Yeah.
And to have them here in glorious Halifax of Yorkshire is always a pleasure. So a big thank you to the NSOs and the referees who have casted aside their plans for the weekend and come to join us in glorious Halifax.
It is an absolutely stellar crew that we've got this weekend in all positions, skating and non-skating, even down to our alt officials. Just absolutely top notch. I know that you'll see them as we progress this season into various different playoffs and championships. So we are incredibly thankful to have such a fantastic crew here this weekend.
I wasn't asked to ref this weekend.
It's because you're doing this.
I could have done both. I offered.
I mean, is it not enough that you're doing this and skating?
Don't know.
Do you not want to talk about it? So we are into this final jam of this half. Fennin all over Fubar.
Oh, and that leaves the gap open for Dr. Oblotnik picking up lead, but Fubar is out of the pack and chasing Dr. Oblotnik. Gives Dr. Oblotnik a little bit of a shove.
We do have pack advantage with the Brollers for this one. Full pack versus a 3-pack, and the period clock has expired, so this is going to be our final jam of the half.
Great work by Fennin, though, holding Fubar. And Fubar came right back into play, and Fennin realised that. Didn't try and get the drawback, just span back into action. Yeah. Great track awareness from Smash Brawlers.
Circle jerk headed to the penalty box. Fubar gliding through the centre of the track for another scoring pass. Dr. Oblotnik still looking for that first scoring pass. Special K going in with the offense. Dr. Oblotnik hugging that inside line with his toe stops.
Yeah, points are out there to be won, and right now that's what we're seeing. Both jammers coming through. But at the moment, Fubar picking up the 14 points to Dr. Oblotnik's 4. We've still got 30-odd seconds of this jam left to run. Dr. Oblotnik being taken off by Barnabash, now being recycled back. Dr. Oblotnik possibly being, let's just get some points on the board. Let's try and finish on a high.
Yeah.
And then reset and go again in the second period. Fubar, meanwhile, dips it down low. Comes flying out just at the end of the pass. Picks up the full 5 points. And Snoogans, we're at the half.
What a half. Scores at the half. 40 points to Nottingham Roller Derby Super Smash Brawlers. Tyne and Fear Roller Derby in the lead with 296. Just cracking half.
It may have been a half of dominance from Tyne and Fear, but Super Smash Bros. Just showing little glimpses of what they can bring to the party here at Men's European Qualifier in fantastic Halifax. So we'll be seeing you in the next 14 minutes. Get something to drink, get something to eat.
Yes.
Hydrate.
Absolutely. I've got you covered.
Thank you very much, and we will see you soon.
Yes. Good afternoon, I do believe it is now. No, it's still morning. We are still on morning.
No, why? Oh, God.
You join us back here for the second half of the second game of the first day of the Men's European Qualifiers. Yes. It's going to be good.
It is. It's happening. Things are about to happen. If you have been joining us for the first period, welcome back. If you're just tuning in, welcome one and all. We're just having a quick look through for the biggest jams of the first period, Snoogans. Mackenzie and Fubar picking up big jams, but Fubar coming up with 98 points in that first period.
Nice. Gruff picking up an 11-point jam, which is the biggest for the Brollers. 25 points in total Gruff has put on the board so far.
So points are plenty, but at this time, Tyne and Fear with a healthy point differential, 296 playing over 4-0. We're back into the action with Mustache and Gruff. I am Roller Polar Bear. I am not Mike Bromfield.
That is correct. Beautiful Banshee, hello very much. Gruff is your lead jammer. Mustache only just getting out of the pack as Gruff is closing in very quickly to pick up some points.
Yeah, Gruff trying to fight out of that Tyne and Fear wall and does so, spins away, picking up 4 points for the SSBs. And 4 points being picked up by Mustache.
Dog there trying to shut down Gruff. Gruff with a little fake out shoulder drop, manages to get round. And again.
Yeah, great skating as well from Gruff. Having the foresight to just get the front skate forward as possible so that you get the elevation nice down and low. The block does happen, but you're able just to roll past it. So great work. But we're looking at Mustache just hitting that inside, working that offense to their advantage.
Gruff making the choice to call the jam as it was. 8 points apiece. Everybody clearly had their orange segments at half time.
Yes, and if you had an orange segment at home, well done to you. I hope you enjoyed it.
Other citrusy fruits are available.
Lemons.
Grapefruit.
Pineapple. Pineapple.
Satsuma.
Pineapple. Anyway, so back to the action. Why don't you tell us your favourite citrus fruit by emailing us in. But meanwhile, Mackenzie on track for Tyne and Fear, picking up lead.
Gentle trying to slow him down. The out of play call goes up, so he has to return to the pack. Shawshank Redemption trying to find a way through that triangle of doom that Tyne and Fear have got on display.
Yeah, Tyne and Fear are losing Jamunition to the penalty box. Mackenzie, meanwhile, being taken out by Gentle. Forearms penalty on Jamunition. Oh, but a forearms penalty as well going to Mackenzie.
So this is a power jam in favour of the Super Smash Brollers. 3-on-3 pack.
Yes, and the pack really picking up that speed as Barnabash just tries to get it rolling. 60 quad bit out front, controlling that 2 wall, spinning around like Carly Minogue.
Barnabash heading to the box as Jamunition is released. Revolving door jammers, blockers even, sorry.
Mackenzie, meanwhile, out of the penalty box and out of the SSB wall, picking up the 5 points.
Of course, Mackenzie was our lead jammer for this jam, but having been to the box, that is now lost, so this jam will run for the full 2 minutes, of which we've got 28 seconds left.
Yes, Peter Parker on the way to the penalty box as Barnabash and Gentle just get released. But right now on screen is Mackenzie going for a shovey to the backy penalty. So we'll now go for a sit down. So that is 2 power jams they've given up in this second jam in this second period.
So we've now got a shift. Power jams 3-2 in favour of Nottingham so far this game, and of course 2 of those power jams being in this one jam.
So 318 players over 51, 14 points amassed in that last jam for Tyne and Fear. A timeout just being called. Track maintenance happening on your screens right now. You can see their diligence and hard work at play, making sure the track is safe, not just for the skaters, but for the referees as well.
Absolutely. So with Mackenzie heading back to the penalty box for that back block, and that being towards the end of the jam, he is of course frozen in the box, so we will start the next jam on a power jam start from that slick bearings line. slick, not just quick. And that will be Dr. Obloknik donning the star for the Super Smash Brawlers.
Frozen in carbonite, like Han Solo. Other films are available.
Yes.
What's your favourite Star Wars movie?
Stop asking what my favourite things are. I don't like being put on the spot.
Just answer the question. Now.
What's the... No, I can't even joke about it. No, I can't do it. I was going to say what's the one with Jar Jar Binks in. That's my favourite, but I couldn't do it. But I've said it, so it's out there now.
Give me some people second. Yes, Jar Jar, it's a war. Anyway. So, 320 plays 5-6. It's not an official review, it's just a timeout.
Yes, it was an official timeout. I believe there was much track repair to be had. And we've got just over 26 minutes left of this game. We are starting the next jam with a pack advantage to Tyne and Fear. 4 blockers place 3. Peter Parker just about to exit the penalty box for the Brollers.
Yeah, big offense coming in now from the SSBs, but Tyne and Fear doing that lovely waterfall action, and that keeps taking the pack backwards as well. And it's a tactic that we're seeing a lot more of as well, where you're able just to keep coming back. It's not an actual direction, it's the formulation of the wall. It's very tough to do, and it's something that I've never been able to do. So I can complain about it all I can on here, but it is a great thing to do. As we can see, Mackenzie is now out of the penalty box, and now trying to get past War Slammer, now trying to get past Fanning, now trying to get past War Slammer yet again. Spins away, there goes your lead.
Penalty being assessed to Dog and to War Slammer, so both teams down a blocker once again. Mackenzie taking advantage of that.
Meanwhile, Obloknik just being held. Still, but that wall is being broken apart by the offense. Blake with great offense, able to get Obloknik out. Mackenzie comes through for a pass, shuts the jam down. But going back to the Tyne and Fear waterfall, as soon as one blocker has the jammer, the other blocker moves their hips just past the SSB jammer. So that jammer then goes behind that blocker, thinking that's the gap, and then it... So it's never a direction as long as your hips get past straight away.
Nice.
It's like moonwalking, but on skates, and it being more physical, and it not being in a pop song.
And everything's on fire?
Only his hair that time. So, back into the action.
So we've got a fresh jammer in the form of Fubar up against Gruff. Gruff has been assessed lead jammer, but he did get taken off coming out of turn 1.
I'd say, I mean, yes, we know Tyne and Fear have got the point differential, but Super Smash Bros. Are out here and they have picked up a couple of leads already in this second period. We're 6 minutes into it. Things aren't going their way. We kind of knew that was going to happen. But what we're seeing them actually establishing lead jammers so they can dictate the gameplay, which is good to see. It's very, very difficult to keep rolling in these situations. It's about the bigger picture.
Absolutely. It's almost an element of managing expectations. I think the Brollers were aware that this was going to be an incredibly difficult game, so they're making the best of it. And making the best right now, Buzz Killington with a massive but very controlled takeoff of Mustache and turn 1. He's managed to take him off again for the recycle.
Meanwhile, Nicholas Rage picking up a penalty on the way to the penalty box. Oh, but Mustache looks as though, was about to, but then didn't and got called. Get back on track, you lead jammer.
Shawshank Redemption currently stuck up against the ribs of Yorgi Bear. Gentle going in for some offense.
Mustache just coming back around. The offense is coming through, but it's just not paying off at this time. Dog holding that inside line. Mustache being taken to the floor by Gentle. Penalty being assessed to Gentle. Mustache being taken out on the inside. Pointed at by the jam ref. And the jam is called off.
So that jam ends with both Yannicky and Gentle in the box for the Brollers. So it's going to be a 2-1 pack advantage for Tyne and Fear as we move into the next jam with 22.5 minutes left on the period clock. 56 plays 3-4-5 in favour of Tyne and Fear.
Yeah, Dark Matter just lining up. As you said, Snoogan's about the pack advantage being very evident at this point. War Slammer and Blake do their best to hold Dark Matter. Dark Matter is few within a couple of seconds. Blake going in for the offense, as does War Slammer. It's very tough when it's just two coming up against four, but they're doing admirably out there. Dark Matter taking matter into his own hands and doing the apex jump. Thank you.
It was quite nice to see as well. Dr. Obloknik playing a little bit of a fifth blocker action on that inside line. He could see that obviously he was stuck where he was on turn one, was aware of the approach of Dark Matter, and just took a break for trying to get through and tried to shift his weight to the inside line to cover that. Wasn't entirely effective, but it's having that mindset of being able to switch what you're doing to try and benefit, or to try and make the best benefit. Yeah,
it's helping your team, and it's what Super Smash Bros. Do best. Their teamwork is what makes them one of the most enjoyable leagues to be around. Dark Matter playing reserve is the fifth jammer in the rotation, apparently.
NRD currently running with a 3-jammer rotation.
And Holly's off for a little nap. So, back into the action. Dr. Oblotnik is out and about, but the jam rolls to an end. But just going back to what we were saying about Dr. Oblotnik going into that fifth blocking, the thing is that shows that, yes, it's tough out there, but you're there for your team. You know, as a jammer, it can be a very insular job, and it can feel like you are just doing it yourself. I'm not a jammer, I haven't jammed, but from what I've seen, is that it is a very insular work. It's an official review right now just being called, but seeing the teamwork come alive like that is very important, and it's great to see.
And it's something that the Brollers do quite well. I'm not going to say they're all double threats because that wouldn't be accurate, but they are a multi-skilled team. Yes, there's primary jammers, sort of like rotational jammers, but they've now got a full MRDA charter. So they've got the full 20. So we're now in a position where actually there's a little bit of sort of fight going on to make rosters for events. So the more that you're able to bring to the table, the better, and the better chance you might stand of being rostered. If you can effectively block and you're still an incredibly skilled jammer, then it's good stuff.
Oh yeah, we know the score. We know it's very tough out there. We know what Tyne and Fear are bringing to this party. We know what Tyne and Fear are after this weekend. You know, it's going to be, I think, going to go into a three-way fight. I'm not going to say which teams I think are going to be in the three-way fight, but that's where I think it's going to be going. The big thing right now is for the likes of Super Smash Bros., and like we saw with Barrow in the previous game, it's about a learning experience, and it's about achieving what they can do on the next level. Seeing what they can take from this weekend and moving forward from it. And that's a big thing. It's not just, these games are not nothing games. Like you said earlier, Snooks, about the rankings, and every point can mean something at the end of this weekend. Round-robin tournaments are very important for the points you pick up on the board. No one wants the wooden spoon at the end, so they'll do what they can to get over the line. Yeah. Big thing.
And in terms of rankings, it's, to coin a phrase, you've got to be in it to win it.
Yes.
If you're not participating, then you're not going to progress.
No.
So I know I've had a chat with Panda from Mannequin, and he was like, they've come short, but they're really looking forward to the whole tournament experience, and just seeing what they can get out of it, and even just watching the other teams playing, you're going to take stuff away from that.
Yeah, absolutely correct. And I think what we're seeing right now is that stranglehold that Tyne and Fear have had on this game, as Fuba coming back around and looking for additional points, and Gruff is out of that pack, but the jam draws to an end. So we're just at over the 10-minute mark in this second period. 370 plays 56. And if you're just joining us on the live stream, or you've been here all day, welcome, hello, and thank you. Okay, so the official review from before was Super Smash Bros. Were requesting a late hit penalty on black 181. There was no impact, therefore the penalty, no penalty issued. Sorry. And we're back into the action, and that is Mustache picking up a lead for Tyne and Fear.
Crisscrossing his way along that inside line. Meanwhile, Sean Shank managing to push his way through. I was about to say stuck up against some blockers, but he'd just emerged on the inside line. Will Mustache engage into... He will. There is engagement.
Didn't need a big hit. He was just very organised, very good. Ooh, big hit coming in from Sean Shank Redemption themselves as they're trying to break it out through. Offense coming through, just not paying off at this point.
Peter Parker with a solid hit on the wall. And we have had ourselves a star pass. Peter Parker now with star in hand. A Mustache just wedged into that wall.
Yeah, no movement at this time. Tyne and Fear holding strong. Mustache seeing the outside, now seeing the middle, getting chased down, but nothing happening for SSB. Coming through for the full 5 points for Tyne and Fear.
Mustache still looking for that pass. Shut down and denied by Gentle. Big hit.
Peter Parker just being taken off on the outside. Both jammers now being recycled back. Coming up to turn 2. Peter Parker nearly finding the gap, but it gets shut down by Barnabash. Points are scored for SSB.
I tell you what, the last sort of 20-30 seconds of that jam was pure work for both of those jammers being repeatedly recycled. And that brings us to just over a quarter of the game left. 17 minutes. Scores 60 points to the Brollers and 393 to Tyne and Fear. So the Brollers have, although obviously we know that Tyne and Fear, differential, etc., Brollers have still managed to bring a fair amount so far in the second half.
Yeah, it's about sticking it out, and it's about digging in deep and making sure whatever we can get out of it is points that can help, along the weekend. What we're seeing right now is Sparky flying around, picking up the lead, and once Sparky gets the momentum shifting, it's very tough to slow him down.
It's poetry in motion, and so this is going to be the first jam for Sparky in this half. You got to wonder sort of the tactical decisions. Are they resting him for later on? Is it's a long weekend. It's a full weekend. It's not like sort of what we've seen in World Cups or the championships where we have the short format games leading up. These are full hour-long games all weekend. But the speedy pickup of that lead jammer, 9 very quick points on the board, taking Tyne and Fear over the quadruple century, 402 to 60. You've got to wonder, are we going to see Sparky a couple more times with the jammer star in this game?
At this point in time, this will put him at the top of the league, so to speak, of men's European qualifier. If the points stay the same as they are now, they're not, but at this point in time, it's very likely that Tyne and Fear will end up top. So they might not need to use the likes of Dark Matter and Sparky as much. And they're able to use Fubar, who is relatively new, and like the likes of Mustache. So, the rotations for Tyne and Fear at this point is more fruitful than what Super Smash Bros. Have.
Nice takedown by Circle Jerk.
Gruff flew out, but then picked up a cut track. So Power Jam now going for Tyne and Fear. Circle Jerk holding as long as possible Fubar, but Fubar comes through with the 5 points.
I tell you what, obviously we were in a Power Jam in favour of Tyne and Fear, and obviously they were lead as well. But the Brollers still managed to hold Fubar and prevent him from picking up lead for nearly 30 seconds for that jam. And then again on that second scoring pass, Really kind of, we saw that contact from Circle Jerk. That's the cut from Gruff.
Bees! Oh. So
the track is covered in bees. Incredibly quickly, Jammer there awarded to Mustache. And of course, this starting a power jam in favour of Tyne and Fear.
Attempt of big hit doesn't pay off. Mustache coming back around. Super Smash Brollers being just picked apart. That wall just being opened up with the offense. The reform at the front happens. Free at the front now, trying to hold Mustache, but Mustache comes through. Super Smash Brollers lose Yannicky, I believe it is, to the penalty box. But Gruff is out of the penalty box and is now out of the pack and hunting down points. But Mustache, a lucky likey of Skate Pliskin, calls the jam. And they will have another reset. So 4-2-1 plays 60.
13 minutes left on the clock.
Now, just as we were saying earlier about having jammers in reserves, and here's another one who I believe is in reserve, and it's Mackenzie. Formidable jammer, 64 years of age, but, you know, really got that spring in his step. But he's another one. Spry.
There you go. Showing that spryness against former Power of Scotland teammate Blake. Big hit from Barnabash, taking Dr. Blocknick off on the inside. However, he did pick up I believe it was an elbows penalty for his troubles.
Oh, Warslammer gets a big recycle, but it looks like it was held by 60 quad bit. Both pivots were chasing each other down just then. Great to see. Warslammer again, just trying to get involved, trying to get that wall forward.
Yeah, I mean, what you were mentioning earlier about Tyne and Fear and the jammer rotation. Both Mackenzie and Dark Matter seemingly quite on low rotation of the 4 jammer rotation.
My drinks are here. But no, and that's where it's more promising for Tyne and Fear at this point in time with the nice heavy rotation. The likes of Dark Matter, Mackenzie and Sparky really being held in reserve as Mustache and Fuba are the main 1 and 2s, and then there's the change-ups. And that's how insightful I get at Roller Derby games. It's been a pleasure. I'm spent. I'll see one later.
I thought you were going to say you're Sven. I was like, no, he's reffing.
All my insight is my own. I have not been helped or coerced in any way by a whiteboard written by Holly, who's also joined us as producer. I don't think we've said that yet. And if we have, then I apologise.
Producer and superb THA.
All right, we've got the gig already. We can say what we want now.
So we've got a fresh jam, and that is Fubar picking up lead as Gruff is recycled on the outside of turn 1.
Gruff just finds that inside, picks up the toe, stop speed, and is through looking for points. Meanwhile, Fubar comes out. Just that jam. They don't need to run it. There's no reason to run it. You just shut that jam down. Yes, it doesn't work for SSB. They're not going to get the points, but Tyne and Fear don't need to worry about that. What Tyne and Fear needs to worry about right now is making sure they get a big point differential, take them to the top of the leaderboard here at Men's European Qualifier, so they can win the speedboat at the end of the day.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, if you come first, you're the top 2 go to America, and then the other one wins the speedboat.
Brilliant. So we've got 10 minutes left on the clock. We've got Shawshank Redemption and Mustache as your jammers. Dare I say it, we have an empty penalty box. Well, I've done it now, so apologies all concerned.
Don't apologise for their misdemeanours, Snoogans. And get to the box, gentle.
Mustache taking advantage of that depleted wall, picking up lead jammer for Tyne and Fear. Weaving his way around, but coming up against a big hit from Buzz Killington.
Yeah, SSB's jammer just not finding the gaps. Barnabash again with a shutdown. Tank and Jammunition out front. So only let up 2 leads so far of Tyne and Fear in this second period. So that's where your points are coming from. Big leads in their favour for the old Tyne and Fear gang. Hailing from Newcastle, home of Newcastle people. And Bridges.
So we've had ourselves a star pass yet again to Peter Parker, who's now rolling with the hits.
Mustache, meanwhile, just being held on the inside. Gentle getting some attention from Barnabash. Mustache being held. Oh, great hit.
Massive hit from Shawshank Redemption.
Mustache just kind of resets, takes a few seconds, because that was a knockout hit. Great work. Just seeing Peter Parker just trying to get the start on the head, and away we go. Some big hits being dealt out in this jam. I mean,
you wouldn't think they've been playing for 52 minutes already.
Yeah, you know, still got 8 minutes. You know, just don't go too full on. We've got a timeout called by the Super Smash Brollers. Gives a big thanks to Roller Derby City. Thank you to all the amazing folks at Roller Derby City for the gorgeous tops the officials and volunteers are wearing. Go and check them out at the 3Ws, and then you got the dot, and then you got the Roller Derby City, then you got another dot, and then you got COM at the end. Fantastic.
That was a brilliant breakdown of how a web address works.
Internets.
I really appreciate that.
Yes.
Massive thank you as well to our event, Medics MB events. We know that they've already had to take a look at a couple of people so far this weekend. Thankfully, everybody seems to be all right. But it is a massive, obviously we have to have medics at events, but it's always a massive weight off to see that we do have people here looking after us, and they're not just here for the skaters, but for the officials, for us, and spectators as well. So if you're coming down tomorrow, do remember that if you get here and maybe you've got a touch of the heat stroke or something, and not likely, it's quite cold up here. It's north, isn't it? Why are you shocked, Bear?
Because Yorkshire's a lovely place.
I didn't say it wasn't.
Well, you know, it's...
I mean, I'm quite happy. I've been melting in the heat for the last, year, it feels
we had it in Yorkshire too. I mean, you know, we had horrendous heat. It was the worst. House fires.
More importantly, we've just got lead jammer being assessed to Dark Matter. Round the outside once again on 1 foot backwards. If only jammers could save some of the skill for those of us who are considerably deficient. That, however, was a beautiful butt block by Warslammer.
It was brilliant. And again, it was a pack work thing. They made sure that the Warslammer had the correct brace as well to actually carry out that sweet little manoeuvre.
And there's Fenin going #butt first, if you will recall that from MRDA Championships in Cumbraland last year.
Well, looks like Dark Matter's just run into an OPR, and will now take a big old recycle all the way back, as does Dr. Roblotnik, as Yogi Bear pays some attention to the evil person from Sonic Hedgehog things.
Hi, Dr. Rob.
Dark Matter back out of the pack and picking up the 5 points. Dr. Roblotnik has taken the star off to try and add some confusion to the melee. Dark Matter, though, hits it down low, but it's taken off. Yogi Bear picks up a penalty, not the first one today.
Dr. Roblotnik being recycled once more. No doubt got his eyes locked on his pivot, but not necessary. Riding the kinetic energy of the contact along the inside line to complete that initial pass that he's been searching for the whole jam. We'd only have 10 seconds left of the jam. Will he make it round to pick up some points?
Oh.
Denied.
Jam gets shut down, and 19 points assessed. 472 plays over 64.
Just under 6 minutes remaining of the game.
Bees, just looking at the replay of Dark Matter.
That's not fair.
Now you said, I wish, Dartmouth would give us some skills. Dartmouth can't announce like you can, Snoops. Never undervalue yourself. You are a world-class announcer, and you bring Excelsior announcings to us all.
Thank you, Bear. That's absolutely not what I was looking for. I'd like to be able to skate, but can't have it all. I can't be a multi-talented, multifaceted person. Fubar is our lead jammer.
I thought you was going to swear then. I was kind of praying you was. I won't lie, I love a good swear. Should we all swear together right now?
No, let's not.
So Gruff is out of the pack and chasing down points, but Fubar shuts the jam down before any points can be picked up by SSB. Right, swear, 3, 2.
Fiddle-dee-dee.
Hey now, hey, it's just gone 12. We don't need that here.
Is that pre-watershed?
I'm being given an angry duck sign right now. Okay.
So we've got Sparky up against Sean Shank Redemption. Sparky looks like he's testing the edges. And number 8, the other Sparky, the OG Sparky, I believe, being sent to the penalty box, and the new Sparky has just picked up lead.
Yes.
This is like that time at another European event where we had De Ronnies, and they were all skating under the name Ronnie.
Yep, it made for a nightmare for the police after they all got arrested. But, one of them things, innit? So, Sparky out, picking up points.
Big hit to Peter Parker, takes them off out of the track. But Sparky just almost like he's on some kind of leisurely stroll through Halifax.
Well,
and that is going to be the 5th star pass to Peter Parker. 5 out of 6 star passes for the Brollers having gone to Parker.
Very useful to have someone like Peter Parker in the pack. We know it's tough out there, but someone who will always happily take the star and help the team out. Sparky though, 1 foot, evading the hit, keeping that speed up as well, very crucial. Flying through on the outside, and they're going to break the 500.
Yeah.
It's
just going to smash it all over the shop. Parker is through on the initial. Sparky, as instructed by his bench, calls the jam. 2 minutes 45 left on the period clock. 5:01 to 64. No scores from the Brollers for quite a few jams.
Yeah, Tyne and Fear really shutting it down. Team timeout being called by Tyne and Fear. So don't forget, we've got some great games coming up. We've got the next game coming up, I believe, is Mannequin Beasts. Coming up against Barrow or Lincolnshire. I can't remember. I've been awake.
It is Barrow.
It's Barrow. So we've got Mannequin Beasts and Barrow. Barrow looking to reverse the trend of their first defeat here in the first game. Mannequin Beasts playing for the first time. And then after that, we have an exhibition game. New World Order coming up against the Gents in Pink.
Going to be a ripping good time.
It's going to be brilliant and so much fun. No one can wait for that.
That will be followed by Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder up against Super Smash Brollers.
Yes.
And we will close out the day with Tyne and Fear taking on Mannequin Beasts.
So all the action still here to come in glorious Halifax at men's European qualifier. Team timeout draws to a close. Penalty box empty. 4-on-4 blockers. 1-on-1 jammers. And we're about to get into the mix. What's your favourite part of a pick and mix?
Favourite part of pick and mix?
Yeah, favourite part.
It's going to be a fizzy cherry cola bottle.
Controversial.
That's what you said. Literally just now. Mustache has picked up lead jammer as Dr. Obloknik gets recycled and does what I'm going to refer to as the Tom Tucker shuffle. That was quite splendid. If anybody caught that on their screen, just a wiggle of shoulders.
And jam draws to a close. And just another 1 point picked up. 5:02 played, 64, 120 seconds left to play. 2 men smiling at the camera. 1 sat down, arms folded, angry, pensive.
It would appear the gents in pink have begun arriving.
But not looking happy about it.
Game face. So Fubar and Gruff are your jammers. Gruff nearly through on the inside, gets taken off by Nicholas Rage. Fubar takes the outside line and completes to pick up lead jammer.
Gruff, great upper body strength, fighting their way through that pack. Fights it out and begins the scoring run. Fubar, meanwhile, into the mix. Shuts the jam down. They don't need to run them, as we said earlier. They're just looking to just pick up a few more points to secure their top. The top of this round-robin tournament.
65 seconds left on the clock.
5:03, play 64. Oh, it's War Slammer lining up.
Against Mackenzie.
All the 4s.
Yes.
Away goes Mackenzie. And War Slammer nearly through, but as War Slammer runs into 4. Not the first 4 arms they've picked up either. And they've picked up a cut track as well. Oh, was it a cut track?
It was
I thought it was a 4 arm, sorry. I don't know what the ref signals are.
Mackenzie taking a couple of big hits there as he works his way through the pack. However, he does complete for a first scoring pass.
Mackenzie now just picking up that pace, coming out of turn 4. Coco controlling the brace. Brace gets taken apart by Jamunition, and Mackenzie comes through. And this will be the final jam in this second game here in Halifax, as War Slammer is out of the pack. Sorry, out of the penalty box, but not out of the pack yet. Gets taken off by Jamunition. Jamunition having a strong end to this second period. Oh, but War Slammer sees the tiniest of gaps, breaks it out, but the jam rolls to a close. And we believe that that's it.
That is full time. Your unofficial scores there on the board. We will, of course, wait for those to be finalised. And as you mentioned before, that scoreline will see Tyne and Fear top the table.
Yes, and deservedly so. Played a brilliant game.
Yes.
Played a very conservative game in the last 15 minutes. Wasn't interested in hemorrhaging any points to SSB. And for me, that's more of a show of respect than anything. You know, it's not about letting up. It's about getting the points on the board.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about here at men's European qualifiers. But a great game, nevertheless, from SSB. It's a team out there, and you can see that's one of the best things about this team is it is a team.
Yeah.
They all work for each other. The jammers work for the blockers, and the blockers work for the jammer. And we've seen that so many times. We saw the jammers going into the 5th blocker, as we saw earlier.
Absolutely.
And I know you spend a lot of time around this league, Snoogs, and you know, I'm proud watching them, and I'm sure you must be proud of this.
Unbelievably so. Unbelievably so. We can confirm your official final scores, folks. It is 64 to the Super Smash Brollers. Tyne and Fear with 517 points.
So, as Snoogie said earlier, Tyne and Fear go to the top of the leaderboard in this round-robin tournament. We do have Barrow Infernos taking to the track for the second time today, coming up against the Mannequin Beasts. And just a quick check-in with the point stats. 29 lead jams picked up by Tyne and Fear, 6 to Nottingham.
And if we look at sort of like our biggest jams and the biggest totals, biggest jam for Tyne and Fear came from Mackenzie with 29 points. Biggest jam, two lots of 11-point jams for Gruff. And the highest scoring jammer for Tyne and Fear was Fubar, picking up 130 of the points on the board for Tyne and Fear, and it was Gruff picking up 26 points as the highest scoring jammer total for the Brollers.
Yeah, great work from Tyne and Fear. Commiserations to SSB, but they will be back.
They will indeed.
This tournament is not over. We are just the second game in, third game about to roll up. So from me, Roll Up Oliver.
From me, Snoogans.
We'll bid you adieu. Big thanks to Holly Sheed for producing, and we'll see you all soon.
Absolutely.